Well, if something unexpected happened tomorrow, would your family be prepared? Joining us today with practical tips on protecting yourself and your legacy is estate planning attorney, coach, speaker, and author Michelle Adams. Welcome back. Thanks for
Thank
being
you.
here.
I'm glad to be here. Yes.
Yes, because I feel like you come and you talk about the things we don't necessarily want to discuss, but need to.
Yes.
Should something, horrible happen, there are real life consequences. So what should we be doing now? We're moms to be taking care of our babies, our husband. What does that look like?
Yes. So here's the thing. Sometimes we think we're doing the right thing. As an example, we might want to put someone down as a beneficiary and think that person is the responsible person. So they're going to distribute the funds to the people I want. And I always caution clients, please don't do that, because even though that person may have the best intention, the reality is, if you name someone as a beneficiary, that's their money to do what they want. So sometimes we take shortcuts when we're doing estate planning, thinking that we can save a few dollars here and there, but we don't recognize that we may be causing some additional issues down the road. One other thing, don't put your adult child on title to your home. I see that a lot because parents, again, are kind of looking for shortcuts, thinking, I'm going to avoid probate, so I'm just going to put my adult child on the property. Okay, makes sense in theory, but what happens if that adult child gets into an accident or some type of crisis? The people who they owe a debt to will look for anything, any asset that has their name attached to it. So that house that you as the parent did so much to earn and to save and to do all the things could now be gone by the wayside because of a debt that someone else owes. So
That's important.
Can I ask a follow-up question? Because now I'm curious. So are you saying you need to hire a professional?
So I'm biased. Let's start
Okay.
there. So I would say yes, you should hire someone because you don't know the landmines until, unfortunately, it's too late. So often people will come to me and they'll map out this wonderful plan that they have already put together, courtesy of AI or Google, no offense, but those things don't always take into account unique family dynamics. So that's where hiring a professional can really come in handy, because we can expose some of the areas that might just be not on your radar.
I think that's so important. But the reality of the situation for a lot of viewers are they're living paycheck to paycheck.
I get
and we
it.
can all relate in these times. It is tough. So I know how great you are with your advice and your money. So what are some tips that you have if someone's like, okay, I don't have the money right now,
Right.
but I would like to renegotiate my salary. I would like
Yes.
for a new opportunity. What would you say to people who want to negotiate a salary or a new salary to bring in that income?
Yes. First, I will say, and this is something I had to learn, start with your mindset. Mindset is everything. And so if you believe you are worth the extra whatever that money is, then you need to really embrace and embody that.
Yeah.
Because if you come to that boss or employer and your shoulders are kind of stooped and you're like, please, can I get that's not going to take you far. So you really have to embrace and embody who you are and the value that you bring to the table. So that's first. Second, outline all of your skills and the things that you have brought to the table. If you have made an impact in your company and your organization, all of those things need to be outlined and really point to the bottom line dollar impact, because that, for most people, is what matters. They want to know, well, what was the financial impact that you gave to our company? The third thing I would say, and it's not so popular, but I would say do some research, ask around, find out what other people who are similarly situated are earning. Back in the day, and I'm aging myself, we didn't have that research. People kept their salaries kind of tight-lipped. Now you can go onto any Google search or wherever and find out that information, and then that will make all the difference in the world. So I remember being in a situation once where I was earning significantly less than some of my peers. And because of some well-intended folks in my sphere of influence, they told me, by the way, you should be getting paid a whole lot more. So do the research, find out what other people are being offered for a similar position.
That is such great advice. So say you do all of those things, it works out for you. Now you're maybe making more money than you have in the past. What are your, little pieces of advice, couple things that folks can do to start making that money work for them?
Yes. So first thing I would say is put the money aside, emergency fund. We hear this all the time and we're like, emergency fund, but really you should, because life happens. So I would say look for a high yield savings account. Those are pretty popular. They're going to pay you way more than the traditional bank account, savings accounts will. Start there. Then think about what your why is. What's the goal? What is it that you're trying to do? Because that will give you the incentive to continue to save and to put money towards that goal. For some people, they may say, well, Michelle, I don't need an estate plan per se. I really want to save to be able to afford this trip or whatever it may be. Okay, that's fine. If you have children, I would challenge that and say, well, let's get something in place just to make sure that those children are protected. But depending on your circumstances, maybe you want to purchase a home. So let's get those things in place. Build the foundation first. Yes, yes. So be really clear about what you need that money for.
Oh, great advice, Michelle. We appreciate you. And if you want to learn more tips from Michelle, you can see her on social media at Family Legacy Attorney. We'll be right back.